You don't follow?
What, dude?
Wow, dude.
Should we follow them?
Iron Drift King.
Yeah, Iron Drift King.
It's like The Bachelor just for drifting.
This is Treasure Island drifting. Yo, if you ever wanted to go somewhere on an island and drift, this is the spot. Iron King drifting. Right?
Iron Drift King.
If you ever wanted to go to an island and drift,
go to Iron Drift King.
Yeah, .com. No, I'm just kidding.
The world's best drift festival with the official Drift Nations European Super Cup. In Ferropolis, Germany? Somewhere in Germany.
You're really bad at.
I know.
Ferropolis?
Is it Ferropolis?
I don't know, bro. I'm just making it up.
Germany.
But no, really, like this is a new series that's getting some buzz, and like, yo, we're trying to check out how things are gonna lay out rule wise, like in the whole comp. I heard they're shaking shit up.
Yeah, so supposedly this has been going on for a few years, but they're changing things up this time. They're changing some rules. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to go about it. I don't know how much details they're going to give, but I mean, just by looking at the Instagram, I mean, the backdrop looks pretty dope.
Yeah, so this is the gram. I don't know. Do we follow him? Who knows? But look at this location, right? Look at this reel. Is that a shipyard?
The backdrop is sick.
Is that a shipyard, dude? Are these my dreams coming true?
Like that.
Dude, they're on an island. They're on a treasure hunt. This is crazy, dude. Look at that.
Look at that.
This is sick. Already.
Yeah, it's like I said, allegedly
full battle mode.
Stuff, but like,
no qualification. Top 64 double elimination.
It's a long
new judging system.
New judging system. Top 64 double. I remember I did that with US Drift. That was a long
August 17th, 2024. So, yo, this seems crazy in Germany.
Yeah.
We got to go to this. We got to check this out. I want to see, like, what everyone's talking about, though. Like, I know Jacob did a really good job breaking this down and talking with him, chopping it up. Dude, this looks crazy.
Like a podcast.
Did you see that? It said lasers. It was like lasers. I love when a highlight hits the lasers. You know, you're like, yes, there's lasers.
That layout, dude.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's just like a nice tandem layout.
Yeah. As you can see,
tandem.
You can definitely see that there's a lot in this layout. It's for the fans. I mean, look where it's at.
Yeah, exactly.
I love everything about this. It looks like something out of like a
you're right. It's for the fans. Yeah, exactly. That's what you want, right?
Yeah, I like it. This is
look at this stadium here. This is all seats. It looks like seats or no, it's some pits and stuff. But
that's crazy.
Wow, very cool. All right, so let's jump into this thing and hear what's going on with this. We're gonna fast forward through some spots and just like get to whatever we think is crazy, something new to talk about. You know.
Some updates. I want to know what this new judging system is.
Yeah.
All right. This is a little bit different from me. So my name is Jacob Gettens. You guys,
Jacob.
You may know me. I'm the
Jacob.
Like, describe how it feels to be there. You can literally feel the energy of the cars because you're so close. It's like you have seen it. The walls that we have there. We bought like FIA grade walls. It's the same then on the Formula One tracks around Europe. And a few of them, not all of them, of course. And you can actually go up to 1 meter close to the track barrier, even when the cars are driving there. So because it's still safe, and I think there is no other place where you can be that close. Maybe Irvine.
That's pretty cool, right?
There's also
that is.
One
I mean,
corner, right?
I'm just kind of used.
There, but
I guess being here in America, you know, there's
and you're obviously
certain guidelines and rules that you typically don't.
Looking in, it's very stadium
cross,
feeling,
but I mean, this is a different country, so I guess they do things a little bit different.
Well, it's not that he's saying.
If you really want to see the entry,
it's not that he's saying that it's like the NASCAR spec one.
You get a kind of different experience,
and like you can be that close, like in some NASCAR spots, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know what.
Yeah, it's like a certain wall. Well, we could have that here. He's just saying they invested in that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. So you could be close enough. So you could be that close.
So definitely fans.
Yeah, which
fans
costs
on that
money
one,
to do.
Yeah.
Itself is now a museum, and it has been a brown coal mine, and that lake that is around, it's all artificial. So that island is artificial, the lake is artificial.
Wow.
Oh, it's a lake. It is
thought
like
it
a
was on
treasure
sea.
island, though.
What?
It's on a lake.
So it's a drifting event
Man-made lake.
on an island on a man-made lake.
Wow, that makes it cost-effective now, I feel like.
Built
Does it?
the mine with water.
Yeah, easier.
I'm like, where the
years,
hell are they
until
going
it-
to
it
the
is
sea?
Yeah, it got to the point where it is now. And I'm very happy that Marcus, my business partner here, he convinced me to do that 2017, end of 2017, because it was not exactly easy to convince the city that is owning that place. Hey, how about we race cars in your museum? You know, that was not the easiest.
Wait, so
way,
this
but
is a
now they're
museum?
definitely on board.
Yeah, I see. I
What?
didn't even realize it had been going on for that long. I was first introduced to it, just kind of making friends with. I think it was Simon Olsen who first introduced me to it, and kind of talking about going. And then I
Breakout
saw him
year
compete
for
in the
Simon
year, like,
Olsen,
that's
boy.
nuts. And then on my own accord, I think I reached
Absolutely.
out to you guys. I'm like, listen, if you ever need an announcer, please let me know. Like, I'd love to come over.
So Jacob went over there and
then,
announced
yeah, it
it.
was a
That's
couple
pretty
weeks
He
cool.
checked it out, dude.
Drifting is now. It gave you the chance to actually, you could choose where you want to.
Running that in the wet would be, I think, can we find a way to explain this a little bit more? And I was like, yeah, let's figure this out. You just got up.
With the contractual partners for.
Yeah, so we're making this happen because there are questions about it and people want clarification, and you know you're super open to talking about it. So
Yes, yeah. We wanted to make one thing clear. You know, that post came out. What is it? Thursday? It's like 3 days ago.
yeah,
You know, it's not so long ago.
I do remember the post.
So what was it,
And
about a week
people
ago, a
thought
week and a
that's
half
just
now?
like, you know,
Something like that.
You use big words in those kind of posts, and you describe like that you want to change a lot, and it all sounds like okay. Another one like we change everything and
Yeah.
we make it so big, and I understand.
I feel like that's how
that
most
people
of us
are
looked at it, you know?
skeptical, that people think like okay, that's just marketing.
At least he knows. Like,
Yeah.
And
He's
I
being real.
appreciate that.
from the bottom of my heart, in this one, it's not the case. This time we are really implementing big changes.
Big
and I would like
changes.
to- I
Big
would
changes
like to,
out here.
Introduce
Big
a few of them.
changes.
I will not talk about all of them because some of them are not finalized. You know, with
He gonna
some-
keep some secrets, he's saying.
for it. And,
He's not
All right, let's
Spilling
get
all
to
the
the dirt.
beans.
Let's get to the dirt, dude. What we doing here?
still for European drifting is that drivers have to overcome a lot of mental pressure. Okay, the practice times are generally quite short. That so you have a very few laps time to adjust your car perfectly for that track before you go into qualification.
That's very
And,
true.
And all
Yeah.
those guys got so good that qualification is really about splitting hairs, right? And and sometimes
Agreed.
you're not making into the
Yeah, because you pull up on a track and you really don't get that many laps to dial everything in and like full send the car, like battling
don't.
someone inches away.
Kudos to the guys in FD, but I mean, like Pro 1 or Pro, they only get 12 practice laps.
Tandem
That's
belts
it.
is where it's at. It's not in the qualification. It's a part of it, but in the end, doesn't matter if you're first in qualification. If you lose your first battle, you're out. You know, and that's the end of your weekend. So the competition is definitely not part of. The competition is not happening in the battles.
I think these are like some gripes that I've heard through the years, like
Always.
from drivers and stuff like that. Like, and I understand they spend a lot of money, they travel super far to get to these spots, and you know, you could slip on a banana peel in entry. You know, I don't know, bro. And it sucks. Your weekend's just like, doop, that was it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, you travel. I mean, I remember when I was, really young, I went out, I traveled 14 hours to Atlanta and put a qualifying lap down, and that was it. That was the end of my weekend. There was nothing, there was no
Yeah.
practice. So imagine someone who's spending some serious cheddar goes out there, spends all this money. So I like that they see that that's a thing. That's I think some guys are just like, man, I don't know if it's worth it. If I go down there and I don't make it into the show, like I essentially just blew money. You know what I mean? So it's
sponsors, everything. To,
so it's cool that
really
they. It seems like he has a good grasp around that at least.
Wait, there was more. So what we did is we said, okay, we want to take away the qualification from the track. I will later go into what we're actually doing here. So we eliminated qualification as you know it. Okay, so guys will not use their cars to go.
No qualifying, none, zip, zilch, nada.
What do we think about that?
Dude, I've been trying forever to get rid of qualifying. I think I get it. I understand it. I understand why we have it in Formula Drift and why, it exists in many other things. But
the thing that I don't like about qualifying is sort of like until you see the whole field, how do you know what 100 is? Or I mean, you know what 100 is, but you know what I mean. How do you know what the rest is? Really?
I completely understand where you're coming from. And now you're right. And they would say, "Well, hey, listen, that's why you're supposed to watch all the drivers."
I know you added up and all that,
but it's like, I don't know. Qualifying for me is just like, it's just I'm over it. Yeah. To be honest, but that's a preference.
Yeah, it's so boring. I mean, I always say this too. Like, I usually never record it, or if I do, it's like just to tell a story. But like, it's one car drifting, dude. It's boring.
Practice is where it's at.
Yeah.
Practice.
Practice. Some of the practice battles are fire, bro. And someone's trying to like show out that whole time.
It's.
To go and try.
All right, so what's the deal? Like how they gonna stack up though? Like I don't understand.
I don't know. I think that's what he's gonna get into.
To qualify, they will. We are going to accept exactly 64 drivers.
Oh,
64
not 32.
Into a top 64 version.
Top 64.
All right, but he said top 64, and they're accepting. So it seems like maybe they're selecting these 64 drivers. That's a big number. 64 is a lot. Think about it. 64 drivers that you
that's so
accept.
many.
I don't know if it's accept or select.
Well, it's a top 64 double elimination.
Double elimination.
Okay.
And a double elimination.
That means we're drifting all day.
All day. All we're doing around here, we're drifting.
Drifting.
I'm waking up, I'm eating eggs, I'm drifting. Someone make me eggs, and then we're drifting. Someone give me some coffee, we're drifting.
So now, this is my thing, right? When we did it at US Drift.
Right, because this has been done before,
This has been done. It's been done, double elimination. I was one of the judges. I think it would have been better, not taken away from anybody who was driving that event, but not every person was a top 64, was it like a lead contender. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think the top 64 format with high caliber drivers, all of them, being high caliber, which I don't know where they're going to come up with.
I was just going to say, like,
when you
is
start
there
saying
enough?
It out loud, it's just, how you going to...
Is there enough? Like, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just saying enough to, like, keep that going.
I think I'm just ignorant to the rosters in Europe, so I am faithful that there probably is 64 drivers. I just don't know. I don't know these people. I don't know European rosters like that when it comes to drifting.
Yeah.
We know the normal dudes, but I don't... Yeah, that's about it,
Yeah, and I mean, I think once this gets out, also other people are going to come there as well. Like, you gotta.
I mean, you're drifting on an island. It's in Germany. I didn't even know.
You're on an island.
Like,
imagine you're on an island with treasure.
So no qualifying. Top 64. That means you're guaranteed you're in the show. Guaranteed you're getting seat time. You're getting practice time. You're getting air time.
Sponsor time.
So I like that.
Essentially, everyone who is familiar with double elimination knows that you can lose one time and still win the event.
Mm-hmm.
So
more airtime.
I am super into that.
You go chase like traditionally.
I kind of really love that, only not because of the time that it takes and stuff, but I think it's going to be a cool story sometimes when like someone battles back from like losing and wins. Like, it's very triumphant at that point to like be like, damn, I lost my first one, but I like rallied back. I puked and rallied, bro.
I mean, it's definitely an underdog story. You going into the losers bracket and then coming all the way back up.
Yo, I love underdog stories.
The only thing is, I want to hear what they're going to do with the judging format, because the only people that are going to be strained the most doing top 64 double elimination is the judges. So 3 judges doing top 64, that's a lot.
They need an energy drink
That's
sponsor, I think.
Everything the same, and you lose your battle, you will go on the loser bracket side. And if you win every
Loser
single battle
bracket,
there,
boy.
you can still win the event at the end. You have to win one more time than the other guy who won all the way through, who is in the final with you, but you still have that chance.
That's awesome.
I
think that's so cool.
Reasons why we do that. Number one is everyone is in the show, okay, from the start.
That's what we were saying.
That. That is going to relax them. This is going to make sure drivers are not constantly
Drifting is so relaxing.
Iron Drift King Spa.
Not everyone, but most of the drivers.
Welcome to the Drift King Spa.
My opinion.
I mean, you're on an island.
They're like really searching the last possible, percentage
that.
of it.
Is this all inclusive?
I like this vibe. He's definitely thinking, like we were saying, like, it's just fun. It's everyone's in the show.
Yeah, I do like
relaxing everyone.
Yeah,
I like
that's kinda
that.
cool,
That's
man.
I like that. That's a different approach.
That's cool, dude.
One I can really appreciate.
I'm sure drivers are gonna love that. I don't know how much like fans so far really get how big of a deal this is gonna change. I mean, the battles are gonna just be better now.
Yeah, I think
Time.
I think the fans are just going to be like, oh, there's just a lot more action. Like that's how they're just going to.
Yeah, and that's going to be the end result, right? Yeah, it's going to be way better action, way better, way more
improvement, and
win-win.
What this does is that European drivers are not interacting with their fans.
We're drifting all day, you said.
Because they're so stressed all the time.
Get your bologna, get your sandwiches. We're drifting all day.
Take this pressure away. Doesn't mean you don't have to battle hard. The focus in this top 64 is definitely performance. Yeah? I'm not saying we make it easier. I'm just saying that the race actually is happening in top 64. And if you arrive to a venue...
Yeah, I like this.
That...
I mean, shit, as a kid, I never really liked tests and shit like that. You know what I mean? I get it. Like, we should just, skip that. Go right to it.
Okay, I'm already in the show. My sponsors are in the show. That's another important point. I talk to a lot of companies that support bigger teams.
There you go, airtime.
This dude, he knows how to market.
He gets it.
This is a true soul putting on
we're actually 2 times
events.
In the show,
this
even if
promoter, he's a promoter, bro.
Because he can go again.
Listen, we're gonna get you more airtime
on
all the time.
But
it'll be worth more to you.
If teams
I
arrive,
promise.
I mean, I'm sold. I'm sold.
I mean, yeah, big brands, they better be.
I gotta see what the judging
format
format
is.
is.
All right, see.
That we want to activate their fans, and I'm super grateful that I had the chance to talk to some of the drivers.
As much love as pro, because I mean, it
was all about in the shortest amount of time producing the cleanest, best, and highest possible result.
To explain things further. So yeah, I believe it. I mean, you've got a lot of time invested in it. They line up for practice in that order. Something. I mean, it's not fun.
We are doing for the next year Iron Drift King is going to change the sport.
All right, let's see what this
Success-driven European drifting is, and in our opinion, forgot everything around it. It was all about in the shortest amount of time producing the cleanest, best, and highest possible result. Yeah, but unfortunately this doesn't pay the fuel to get you there, So just to say one example, there's so many things that we believe needs to be addressed, and needs to be touched and at least tried. Okay, we cannot guarantee that what we are doing for the next year Iron Drift King is going to change the sport. There is no guarantee, but we claim that we're going to change the sport because we believe so deeply and wholeheartedly in that, that we will give absolutely everything, and that's why I sit here Sunday night 2:00.
Don't worry about this part. We're just listening to when the part
talk
comes.
to you because I really want everyone to understand that this is no joke for us. We are trying our absolute best to create a better future for those teams out there.
No, that's fair. I mean, obviously, you were you're the one who approached me about this. Like, hey, what can we do to try and get this message out? I mean, I know you were in the comment section of the post, more track time or something.
When did he say that?
You to cheer for them, right? You get
Going to have a voting system. It's good.
them fight their way
What was the
back
voting
up
system?
to win it all. So that's I've always liked that double elimination bracket. I've always been a fan of that. So personally, I'm a fan for sure. I guess that leaves open the question though of like the actual qualifying. Is it just random numbers or
No.
That's what I want to know. How do they qualify?
I feel
What
that
order?
would be wrong, right?
Okay.
That's
Not random numbers then.
So no random numbers. That's what I was used to.
Detail when it comes to that, but I will give you an idea of
Like
what
numbers
we
out of hat
imagine,
or
this will
balls.
look like.
Balls.
And again, before I start, the reason here is to help drivers interact with their fans directly. That's the whole purpose.
Where's this guy?
So what we are going to do, we are going to have a voting system. It's going to be with an app.
What?
What?
People that are at the
What? A voting system with an app?
An app.
What?
Okay.
and you will be able to use the app or do it physically. But people that didn't make it to the venue, they will go and do it with the app. And drivers will have almost 5 months time to figure out a way how they are going to activate their fans for that day when we're opening the vote. You know, it's happening after like the first 70% of the practice day.
What?
We're going to open the vote, and then hopefully everything they came up with, all the crazy ideas how to activate their fans to get them as many votes as possible will pay off. But so because our drivers will be decided in the next 6 weeks. All 64.
Okay.
Then we know who's going to start, and then we have a lot of time to work with them, and we intend to work with them, explain precisely, you know, how we think this is going to go, and encourage them.
So far, I'm still confused though. Like,
There's a lot to
I don't know how I feel about that yet because there's like a couple unknowns, right? Like,
So
to
there's-
me, I'm like,
There's an app.
I like the app idea. I like the voting.
You have 5 months to activate. I think what he means by that is, I'm assuming like interact or make videos or something, content.
Yeah, to engage with the fans,
engage with the
which is
fans.
great marketing tool. I get that.
And then based on, I don't know, but then doesn't that mean the more popular person's?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if like you already come into this with like a huge following, but
You're
what's
gonna-
the incentive you get? You get the if you have the number one. What does that rank? How does that rank you in qualifying though? Like that's what I'm saying. What's the advantage? I think maybe
They'll
To
go into
interact with their fans, to activate their fans. You know? And,
Activation.
I talked to a few drivers about it because I wanted to hear what they think, and they on the phone instantly had ideas, you know. And I can tell you, I think we will see a lot of cool stuff, because they, you know, every team has that one crazy guy. And I don't know what they're going to do to get their fans to vote, but I think we're in for an absolute.
and then after 70% through the first practice day, they're gonna open the vote.
Festival of videos and crazy pictures, lots of good emotions, you know, lots of smiling faces.
This guy's a
And,
marketer,
and
brother.
that is what I learned from talking to the FD guys. This is exactly what I took
But
away.
what
from
is
it,
the
and,
incentive? I
I'm
wanna
super
know, like,
grateful
how do
that I
you-
had the chance to,
How do you do the
talk
top
to some of
64?
the
How do you line them
drivers,
up?
over there?
I guess 1 through
and
64?
understand that. Okay, so that's
Bracket
how
style,
this
but they're
works,
voting.
Right? In the end, we just need to
And
put
Like we
ourselves
vote
in
for you
situations
to be
where teams
what
and
one?
drivers
Yeah.
interact.
Oh,
more,
what? That doesn't.
you know, actively,
I don't understand how that.
actively, proactively create that. You know, and we are pushing a little bit, you know, but it's in a very gentle and friendly way. We do this really that they
I think they're gonna
have time.
probably figure it out, you know. But hopefully, I don't know. But so far, I'm not sure what the depth of this is.
I think
you know?
they're highly invested if there's an app. I don't know how they're going to incorporate all that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what the culture is tech wise and stuff like that when it comes to apps and what they're using over that in Europe compared to what we're using here. Like that's a thing, you know.
No, it's not hard to do over here either. We can definitely do that, but
I mean, like I don't know.
I think how engaging they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, that I do think about that part of it too. It could be interesting, or like, but like we kind of always wanted something like this. I mean, I feel like I wanted something like this in FD.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Not that I think it would be 100%
But
like right or true, but I think like I would think it would be like kind of fun to like. All right, so we know like the X Factor is like poof, like magic smoke or something like that. I mean, sure, a million times it's been explained. It's a thing,
Yeah.
X Factor. But to me, it's like X Factor. Yeah, suck it. Like, yeah, that's X Factor to me, and I think like the fans need that maybe. So maybe this could be a good way to like have them vote on the battles, like, and be like, maybe it doesn't weigh that much, but it's still cool to see like, yo, everyone thought like he got it. He gets the X Factor because all right, maybe he like went one tire off, but the line was so fat and like so cool, or like whatever. I don't know what he did, like threw it so quickly in the transition and got to angle quick and like rode it out hard. Like, you know, the X Factor to like the fans could be like maybe a thing. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I think
we
the
know
best
it
way-
won't be proper, you know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
it won't be.
It won't be proper, but also we just maybe don't give it that much weight. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a little bit, but
it's rough because I don't know what podcast or who had this on, but they had a really great analogy. You have James Dean and you had P Tour that were on that team together, right?
Right.
James Dean, the machine, hits all his zones, did everything he needed to do, flawless.
Right.
P Tour goes out there, does the same thing, but it does it with that P Tour stop.
Mm-hmm.
That was the X Factor. He did the same thing.
Yeah,
he
for
did
sure.
the same thing. You know, I think that was like the best analogy. I was like, damn, you're right.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree, and I think that's like, but sometimes that can be like visually a difference too. You know?
Yeah, it's all perception. Yeah, it's a judge sport. You know what I mean? It's So I guess everyone's.
We're voting for the fans right now.
It'll get messy. It'll get messy for sure. Well, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. That's. Yeah, I would just want to know more. I honestly want to know how it's going to work. I want to see it happen.
Maybe he's. Just
I want to see it develop.
Maybe he's not privy to tell us right now either. You know,
Privy? He's not privy?
He's not privy.
If their channels are growing.
If events like that made as much money as some people thought, you would have events everywhere. But they don't. Most of them just break even if everything works out well. So
that sounds about right.
I 100% back you on that. That like this is. You want to see drifting succeed. You want to see it do better. You want to see the drivers do better. You want to see more fans engaged with it. And this is a way of, fans getting some skin in the game. That like their support.
I want skin in the game, brother.
Be able to
I want skin in the game, brother.
Difference in the driver. I personally love to see like other benefits come with that as well.
Yeah, what's the benefit?
If we're throwing ideas out there, like if a driver gets more votes, maybe they get more track time or something. They get extra laps or something, or
extra laps,
sort of
baby.
Because the only argument I'd have with you is like, okay, cool, I get more votes. It just changes who I drive against. It's no different than a random thing. But if the more votes maybe got them,
right? So these asking
more
about an
track
incentive
time,
there.
They line up for practice in that order. Something. I mean, it's not final, but something that provides a benefit to their weekend.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I don't understand what the voting thing is for. It's just like, who's most popular? Like, nah, there's got to be like some kind of
I think he
incentive.
just said he can't really get
We live
into
in
it.
a world where people are very fast to judge, So if we
so
say for the
judgy.
love of sport, we would say if
Reese, you're so judgy.
motivating your fans, we reward you for that, right? Not just with a higher qualification position, but with something extra. Let's say 2 more laps practice. Okay, just as an example.
Right.
It takes exactly 5 seconds until you have the first comment under what we just talk here, saying, yeah, but some of them have so many fans that it's unfair for the others.
Yeah,
This is
that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what we were
in that
definitely
because
thinking.
everyone got to a point through some certain steps in their life, right? It's not
That's fair.
no one woke up and just had that. No, they all have worked for it. So I think there should always be a reward for people that worked hard to get to a certain point. But I think we're not there yet. You know, we're not there. There's a lot of changes that we want to implement, and we don't want to make it too crazy that everyone goes completely nuts. Because we are not doing this to market the event. We do this to help the sport. You know, to help the sport be there many years from now still, and hopefully we're a young child.
I think we're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, we got
the final
full details.
Full
we need
details.
full details.
I think he has good intent. I think he definitely. I think
that slippery slope of like,
yeah, it's a little
like
slow. And I think he knows it. I think he knows it's
bias. Like, I get the hard working part, but still, like some people some people are just way better at marketing, and yeah, I don't know if that's who I want to say gets a better advantage for drifting. Like,
but
that's not really what drifting is.
But
like,
we don't know what the benefits are going to be if you do get qualified.
Yeah,
we
totally.
don't know that yet. So
totally.
I think,
but I'm just saying, whatever benefit it is, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm down because like, this dude has more followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's why this dude gets this perk. Like,
it definitely tips.
It's like a little popularity contesty.
To the more
not very drifting oriented. Like over here, maybe in the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it would fly here.
It is like that a little bit, but yeah, not to like this extent. Like,
no, for an event like this where there's going to be all that cash at hand, like I don't think it's going to fly.
But we'll see. Maybe there's not really a crazy event. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, there could be something cool here with like the voting and the fans' interaction.
So far, I'm liking it. No qualifying. There's some sort of voting thing that's going on that I'm sure we'll get more details on, and what's going to happen after they qualify. I'm sure we'll get final details. So far I like the direction they're going.
Yeah,
just because it's different.
Yeah, it's different. This is crazy.
When I'm old, and I would like this to be my career, like monster truck. Like in the US. Like I've just recently watched Monster Truck with my daughter, and I haven't once watched Monster Truck 10 years.
Monster Jam.
I've seen like, okay, Bigfoot 1, Bigfoot 2, Bigfoot Senior, and then like, the whole family is doing that. And I was like, okay, so because it's possible. And I would love that kind of chance for drifting.
I like that energy. I get what he's saying in that sense too.
He's hook, line, and sinker. He's a market.
Yeah, entertainment, baby. About that entertainment. That's fine. That thing.
With the,
there's some good tire money there.
Sure that the teams have to pay just the tire.
Wait. Oh, so they're going to talk about tires.
Hold on. Let me just get to it.
It is perfectly. It makes enough smoke, but it.
Okay.
That size, I think, has provided.
Talk about like changes to
some point. So I think we have to try different things in order to see what works best, But we definitely don't want to create any unfair situations, because the sport is still a motorsport, and it's still something that should be fought on track.
Okay, no, that's fair. I
like that take.
Completely get that. Is there any? I think there's some talk about like changes to potentially like car regulations or is there anything?
Squeeze.
I know tires in general in Europe is such a massive topic in drifting. Is there anything you can talk to about that?
Yes, I definitely can. So
tires. I'm interested to see this. I think there's been a lot of podcasts that have been covering a lot of experienced drivers that think we've gone way too far on the tire end when it comes to grip.
Oh, yeah. I've heard this debate many times.
It's a thing. We're definitely trying to stop.
This breaks the car easier.
The tire
it's
wave.
It's not fun.
Yeah, shouldn't. So I'm interested.
So it was like horsepower wars. Now it's tire wars.
Tire wars.
Like, right?
Beast wars.
Tire wars.
There was one very easy decision that didn't need any brainstorming, and that was, okay, we definitely limit tire size to 265.
Okay.
What?
265? I think that is globally the size that gets used a lot when it comes to...
That's the size?
Yeah, 265s. For whatever reason, please. I feel like I've always seen people...
Hey, let me get a 265 and a chopped cheese.
You know what I mean? Aki.
Boo 65 and a chopped cheese.
Oh, yes. Sure.
Mayo, ketchup, onions, lettuce, bro. Tomato.
With a Pop-Tart. Do it Aki style. With a Pop-Tart.
That size, I think, has provided for 95% of European drifting the best years of their career. Like when it comes to, I could afford it, and they were still very reliable for most of the people. That was the first time driving a semi-slick, in general, and it was the first time being able to actually control your car, not just hoping it will slide. Hopefully not into the wall, just slightly stop before that. No, you were actually able to control your car precisely first time, and but that's a size that is perfectly fast. It is perfectly.
I agree.
It makes enough smoke, but it will not go. It's not going to.
Not weighing on this.
Like it's not going to give you constantly drivetrain damages, rip the rear axle out of your.
Yeah, I understand that part. I understand the grip and the destruction for no need, really.
And that was a very easy decision. The major change is that we wanted to be, and that is another FD thing. So I have to say, I am very grateful.
Tell us, what's the other change? My God.
God, he knows how to really end, doesn't he, dude?
Dude, he's got me. Hook, line, sinker.
Part 2. Oh, we could do just part
Saga,
1, part 2,
Saga.
part 3, everything.
Try ABC.
Saga.
It was just talked, their everyday life in that sport.
Tell me what's next.
Like,
Tell me.
Okay, we could maybe try this and here and so what we're going to do?
Tell me.
We are going to make sure that the teams have to pay just the tires they use in practice.
What?
Every tire that is used in a competition in the battles will be provided, so they don't have to pay for it.
What?
Tires will be provided after practice. So, from what he's saying,
You just pay for the practice
only
tires.
pay
The practice
for the
laps.
tires you use for practice. After that,
Damn.
when you get into the show, in your top 64, double elimination, all of the tires that you're going to use
Paid.
are covered.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
Now I want to know what tires.
Because in comparison with the US market and FD, drivers here have to pay for their tires,
Right.
because there is no company willing to actually provide them with free tires. Free, nothing is free. They provide the marketing exchange, and provide a marketing service here. It's not like
He's
if you
smart,
get something
dude.
for free. No one gets anything for free. But what I'm saying is that there's everyone out there, please don't nail me down. I think we have maximum 5 drivers in all Europe, and we have thousands of active drivers, maximum 5, that don't pay their tires because they can repay
Only 5
their
in Europe.
partners with
Crazy.
exposure
Sheesh.
and marketing
Crazy.
activities. And then
Ladies and gentlemen, be
Right.
grateful
Whereas
that you are
same
shredding
thing
in
in
America.
the US, I know multiple drivers who don't even compete, that are just party drivers. They just go into festivals and all they do is drive festivals that are fully back.
Is that the name now?
What?
Party drivers?
Stop. We're not going to claim that. If we're going to give them that, we're going to give them.
Yo, these guys, they're the party drivers.
I like
They're the party drivers,
I like
dude.
I think the term that was being used was freestylers.
The freestylers. What? No.
I heard it was like, yo, I don't want to do competition. I just want to freestyle.
Yo, it's like freestyle
I
moto.
like it,
I just
dude.
do what I want, go where I want. I do the events I want.
There you go.
All right, maybe.
Someone said it. I don't know.
Freestyle.
I don't know if I kind of like the name.
Can we have our own name?
It's like, it's really. What are you going to say?
The Outsider. I don't know.
No,
like
that's a
something
movie.
Cool. I know. It sounds cool. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something way cooler. It's got to be something cooler.
I don't know. Definitely not the Outsiders.
We're like the purist or something. Like, no, not like that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, what? That's so soft, bro.
Yeah, it is kind of soft.
The enthusiast. Hey, the enthusiast group is out here drifting today.
I don't know. What would you call it?
The Hellraisers are out here drifting today, brother.
I'm out.
Like something crazy, like, WWE, like we're way cooler or something. I don't know.
by tire companies. And then, I don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but like at FD, there are drivers who are being paid to run a tire. I mean, I think Falcon's a great example of that, right? Like, you looked at the Falcon program, there's a lot of, maybe there wasn't a check being presented, maybe there was, I don't know, I'm not here to say, but you've got a rig, you've got a livery, you've got suits, all that stuff that's being provided or subsidized. There's some good tire money there. So I guess the question then is like, maybe I'm like getting into too much detail, but like, how does the logistics of that work? Is it going to be limited to one brand? Are you just going to reimburse them and be like, you bring your dead ones and we'll bring you some new ones? Or I'm just curious how that works.
Okay, so to give you a little bit background. So after hearing how it's done in the US and how drivers are supported, because Formula Drift has that, and that is just hearsay. Okay, I've never seen a contract, and I know. Right. I just want to make sure this is that is understood. But even if this was a pure lie, it helped me have this idea. So what I was told is that FD, if they get a new tire supplier, like a partner, official tire of FD, they don't just have to partner up with the series. No, FD is making it a requirement that they fully support 3 to 5 teams. Or 3 to 5 drivers. And that was like, why we don't do this? Why we don't do this?
Dude, that is really cool though.
Is that true?
I mean, I would think so. Like,
we're in there. But
that's probably like part of the agreement. That's pretty cool though.
That
like,
is cool. If
like you're like, yo, if you're gonna come into our series and show face, like you're not just gonna be like providing one guy tires. Like, no, like you have to like provide some guy tires and do whatever else,
I think that's a good move. If FD really does do that, that's
shout
solid.
out to FD on that.
Shout out to FD on that. That's dope.
How about us as an event? We are trying to find partners, sponsors for the event, and then make it their task as well. Okay, we provide you exposure, and we have an even better idea with even more exposure, but you have to also provide the teams with something. Right. And that is what I'm saying. That might sound so hilarious to you as drivers, as you just said, some guys don't even compete and get their tires for free. And it's a very small
the party drivers, they're the ones that are the problem.
International drivers, but in Europe, that is a big thing. If you don't pay those,
I'm gonna make some propaganda around this.
Yeah,
you don't transport.
I'm gonna make a commercial. Don't steal my commercial yet.
Sounds
it's
like
a party, guys.
That's the problem. Yeah, those tires weigh hundreds of kilos, 500-600 kilos, even more when you have to transport them. They take away space that you could fill with.
Yeah, it's nice. Like they would transpo for that.
Another interaction with your fans. Those vans and trucks are
this dude's stinking, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Big fines, when they
we need people to move the thing like this. Do the thing, move the thing.
Tires take up so much fucking space.
And we want to take that away. There's
nothing.
Yeah, you're pushing weight every time almost on some rigs.
And there's nothing worse than lugging back dead tires. Oh my god.
It's like, no, those guys come here and have their hundreds of thousands of US cars, and risk them completely to give everyone the best possible show, and then you ask money from them that they get their tires changed, like this is something that is absolutely ridiculous.
This dude gets it.
We want to set an example.
Yeah, he's a good salesman.
How this is going. But you asked me a question, how are the specifics or a little bit more details. So
we're about to move forward.
Before we came up with the final idea, we wanted to make sure it's fair. We had a lot of talk.
All right, how it's going to be fair?
Some tires being so strong, so grippy that
I saw him laugh. I was all jiggle.
Otherwise, you cannot compete.
Right.
That is where it ended up. There's a few guys like Max Heydrich, one of the Drift Masters drivers. He's actually the only German who competes in that championship. He was using Westlake, and he made it work. He found a way magically on his S chassis to make that car fast on a tire that is.
We've been seeing some Westlakes around. What you think about that?
Like Valino. When it comes to performance, but it's a huge struggle. And we wanted to take that out, so we did. We talked to a lot of drivers that have a lot of experience over the last decade and we didn't tell them why we asked it, but what we asked, if you could name tires that are similar in performance, you know, like tread wear, grip, predictability, you know, those kind of things. Which tires would that be? And I'm not going to name the brands now.
Okay.
That's
Some guesses.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I was just on the edge right there, Dad. Come on, Ed.
This dude's good.
Tell us the juice. Spill the beans, boy. You're lucky that dude's not in the room with you. He's gonna box you up, get the answers.
What? Every single driver, and that was very much to my surprise, answered the exact same tire brands. And they didn't even know why they answered that. I just used my contacts, friends of mine used their contacts to just contact a lot of drivers and ask the same question, you know, and they all answered the same thing. So it was like, okay, then we cannot go really wrong, right? So so we talked to those brands, and we are going to get them on board, you know, to support drivers. And
So they know what kind of brands they're going to go after.
and this is where I soon end with specifics, okay? Those drivers have to essentially apply to be chosen. But every single competitor will get that support.
right.
But which of those brands? That depends a lot on your imagination and a lot on how good are you to make them aware that you're actually existing. You know, but we wanted to make sure that no one has a disadvantage. That was super important. So in the end, it will not make a huge difference. Maybe free.
It's like they're going to a draft, dog.
Well, there's your incentive.
Free agents.
There's your incentive.
I mean, that's always been that way. That's not the incentive of voting, I guess, the fan. I mean, sure, that plays into it. That metric is definitely going to matter. But, yeah, I mean, that's the same way in FD, too, though.
I really like the whole tire thing. I don't know how many tires they said. They didn't say how many or what brand.
No, they didn't.
I like this. I like that they did their research and they found tires that
all the drivers like.
That subconsciously
that's
everyone
smart.
thinks is fair. They're going to get them on board. The drivers only have to pay for the practice tires, and then as soon as they start the show,
gonna be sick.
Everything is taken care of.
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
far, I'm about everything. I'm interested on the judging part now.
Yeah.
3 to 5% if you have this tire or that tire.
Let's see.
But you can win on all of those 3 tires. You know, you can.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
That happen.
Are you able to get into any other like changes? I feel like you and I could get stuck on a bunch of subjects, but yeah, I'd love to know what else.
I'm sorry for that.
No.
It's
tires, but tires are so critical in drifting.
Yeah.
It is like no matter what's going on in drifting, that is like a conversation that's constantly happening.
Very true.
And it's happened.
Man, we load that
I
rubber.
would say the last
Man, we load that rubber.
actually, like last 5, like has been really heavy in it. But really,
Sticky
since
ass
tires
rubber.
have been making
Sticky
a big
ass
difference in
rubber.
drifting, it's such a hot topic. So I'm glad that we spent some time on that.
yeah. So we both knew this is not going to be a short talk here. You know, I try
know.
not to have-
He's here to talk,
you know,
son.
But sometimes too much. But I think
It's all good.
after all those years drifting in Europe, that didn't get to the point where we're all from different.
When it has been tried, maybe it's been tried in some smaller series.
As far as I just believe you failed, you obviously failed. Change the amount of judges.
Has been really heavy in it, but really since tires have been making a big difference in drifting, it's such a hot topic. So I'm glad.
It didn't get to the point where we all would like to have it. I think we all should spend maybe 10 more minutes listening to that and trying to understand why we're going that way. And that's why I have to talk a bit more. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Another change that we are going to do for our event is the judging. So the judging
Here we go.
itself, you know, we're not going to change the judges, right? They're going to make their educated decisions. What we're going to do, we change the amount of judges.
What?
So typically you have 3 judges. We are going to go with 5.
Yo, 5 judges. 5 judges.
5 judges.
You heard it.
Okay. This is huge.
5 judges.
I'm gonna tell you why this is huge. At first, everything about this sounded amazing until I heard about the top 64 double elimination, because then a lot of pressure is on 3 judges. Now they're saying
I see.
that it's going to be 5. So technically speaking, you have roughly a 10% chance of ever having a one more time.
Yeah, I like that. I like that part big time.
I like that.
Like, the only one more times I want to see is at the end, bro. Like, because you know that tandem's so tight, and there was a splitting hairs decision there. Like,
Yeah, but if you got 5 judges and they actually say one more time, then that is definitively
yeah,
one more
exactly.
time. And if you lost, you lost. It's 5.
That's true.
people.
That's true.
And
I like it.
the reason for that is simply we believe we're going to get a cleaner result. Nothing
Cleaner.
100.
Cleaner
If
result.
5 guys, and those 5 judges will be from 5 different places in the world. You know, they have
Global.
a connection. You know, they're
Worldwide.
constantly working with each other. They are all from different fields, different generations of drifting. You know,
Ooh.
I like
have
this.
done that such a long time, and they all have interest in developing the sport. You know, interest in learning more, and interest in helping the sport with their education, because a judged sport will always be open for controversial decisions. It will always. Be open so
Always, I mean-
people feel that there was a biased decision.
Fact of the matter here, buddy.
Part of the
We
game,
felt
baby. Part of the
2
game.
judges extra is going to help that a lot, because if 5 judges believe you failed, you obviously failed.
You failed.
Damn
son.
right.
And
That's right. You heard it here first.
dog. You
Failed,
out.
dog. You failed,
You
dog.
lost, dickhead.
Get the fuck
You
out. Get the
lost.
fuck out. You
lost. Get the
failed.
fuck out.
They should do. The judges should just do this. No numbers, just like straight like the Roman times, dude. Like, boom, you're done.
Kyle Weaver a little bit there, dude. We just be like, the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
dude.
you're
Get
out.
outta here, dude.
we're going to make sure that those judges will make their decisions individually. You know, so like we try to create a visually a border between them.
A border.
So, it's
no
like-
cheat
it's-
coding.
It's your decision.
No
with
cheat.
your knowledge, with your experience in that sport.
I like
You
that.
can't cheat off the test, dog.
Separate the judges completely.
Decision, you know, it's like not trying to convince each other of.
Wonder if they'll go crazy.
I like that.
decision
I
I wonder
like
if they'll go
making,
crazy
because
in
it
like their own
should be
little thing.
based on knowledge.
No,
And rules
I
that
think
we
they're like
get
isolated.
in the
As long as they're
meetings we
snacks, I
had,
think
in the
they'll be
meetings
good.
Before and
Snacks.
And I'm not trying to get too deep into.
Wow, that's crazy.
I like
Yeah.
This
I
is
just
great.
want to,
5 judges.
and I'm not hating on what is happening. I'm just saying that I think we can provide fans and drivers with a little bit better decision quality, because of it's more people making that decision.
Yes. More
Agreed.
brains. More brains.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's pretty cool, man. I'm super into that one.
I'm about it.
That one's a right fit there.
I am about it. There's going to be way less one more times. There's going to be so much less people bitching about calls. Like, they're just. I mean, I don't know what the culture is out in Europe, but I mean, it's 5 judges. 5 judges say you lost. You lost. Like, how are you going to argue that, bro? It's 5 people. 3, I can understand. 3.
So far it's been what did we talk about? We talked about
no
tire,
qualifier.
no qualifying, top 64, double elimination.
The tire rule. There's going to be
Yeah.
a selection of tires that all the drivers agreed on. We don't know what those tires are or how many brands, so we don't know that. And we have 5 judges instead of 3 that we're normally used to. And there's some sort of voting system for.
Oh yeah, the
qualifying,
voting system.
which
the
I don't
voting
really
system.
know. I think we'll figure that out later on.
Yeah, I want to know more about that for sure.
This is great. This is awesome. I think another reason why I think this could potentially work and do well, because it's not a series, it's just one big event.
Ah.
You know, it's not like they're going to multiple rounds. It's just one big event on an island. So I'm just underline island. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's why this potentially is going to do pretty well.
That's cool, man. I'm cool. I want to see this series in person for one, just because of the visual and the background and things like that. But like, it's shaking it up, and like, yo, wow, 24, man. Like, what a change is about to happen. Like,
No qualifying.
I would love to see how this works out. Like maybe it sucks, maybe it doesn't. Like I don't know, but either way, I'm here for it because it's drifting and it's like some sort of moving in any direction, you know?
I think drifting is just always going to evolve. We have so many different genres of drifting, at least in America, and I think Germany is definitely just going to step up to the plate, kind of represent for themselves.
Yeah, who's over there?
You know,
like, do you know?
they said there's one dude in the Euro series. I had no idea. I don't.
I mean, I'm sure they want people to come over from here
absolutely,
and stuff like that, but.
I mean,
We'll
look,
see.
we didn't know about Gate Bill or anything like that till we started seeing. Yeah, we didn't start until we started seeing videos. So I think it's gonna
I
be the
thought
same
that
thing
was
for
so
this.
cool too.
So this is going to be really cool. Pump that drifting is growing and is doing all that.
Yeah.
I mean, Germany.
Let's go.
I'm trying to go to Germany.
Let's go. Germany, Colombia. I don't know. We're trying to go all over. You know what I mean? Europe. Up in smoke.
Africa.
South Africa.
Who we know in South Africa? I'm trying to go to South Africa.
Who's drifting out there?
I don't know. I want to go straight out there.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go all over and check it out. So I definitely want to see this spot. Let's figure that out. But drifting, man. Progress is forward, bro.
I'm ready for it, dog. On an island.
Fucking
in
tire
Germany.
rule is sick, man.
The tire rule is really sick. The judges, I'm pumped on the judges.
Judges is sick.
That's
dude.
going to be so much easier on the judges, man. Like, I wish they were to do that here. I'm sure logistically here it's a nightmare to do it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's one big event, so I think that's why it's working.
Yeah, it's one event.
Yeah, it's one event. You know what I mean? Coordinating 5, 6, 7 of them.
A lot of
It'll be a little hard.
cashish.
Yeah, a lot of moolah.
Cashish. All right, we're out of here.
We're out of here, dog.